Puma Pants says good morning as always. He's doing cat donut right now. I'd say 70% purry and furry, 30% frisky and risky at this point. So if you were to ask me, I think tied for first among all spiritual principles, if not possibly the greatest, is the one that says, ask and you shall receive. Sometimes we've heard it so many times, we might have lost its import or it's faded from our memory what it actually means. But if we were to actively, if we were to actively remind ourselves of the importance of the spiritual injunction, ask and you shall receive, we realize that embedded within it is the most powerful, most explosive, most liberating dynamic that a individual soul could have. Ask and you shall receive. It's the Magna Carta of human freedom, because it means that whatever sort of lack or limitation or restriction or suffering we might find ourselves in, or whatever promise or glory or project or engagement that we wanted to participate in, all we would have to do is ask and we would receive. It sounds so banal and trite to some degree. It's like, yeah, I've tried asking and I don't get, God, put a yacht in my driveway, would you? Make it snappy. I remember being 5 years old and it was color TVs were starting to come out. And I just remember 5 years old and I was already practicing prayer, not effectively, but as God, please give me a color TV. And I'd go out to the living room and, there wouldn't be one, and there wasn't one for several more years. So, ask and you shall receive is really just a mindless, sententious, spiritual, ridiculous platitude. Yet there's a reason why every single spiritual master has said in one manner or another, and every spiritual system says, ask and you shall receive. So today I want to cover two aspects. One aspect of asking, tomorrow we'll cover the other one. There are two pathologies. There are two problems when it comes to asking. Today I'm going to cover pathology number one, which is just not asking. In other words, we're given the injunction that as children of the Most High, as individual divine beings, that we have the faculty of asking, but we don't. Why is it that so many people just don't ask for what they want? And it's a very good question. And in my conversations with many hundreds, if not thousands of people now for a long time, there seems to be a very large swath of humans who are extra super nice, extra super polite. And the strategy that they've developed for a living, which certainly has many benefits, is just being super nice, super courteous, and super polite, and not asking for much. Because you know what? Asking for things, it stirs the pot, it causes waves. And I believe in many cases, this comes from growing up in a particular family dynamic where whatever it is that we thought was important, interesting, meaningful, or necessary for us, we were sort of trained, or there just wasn't room to ask. And so we stopped asking. I know in my own household, asking for something was actually kind of dangerous. I wasn't supposed to ask for what I wanted. What I was supposed to continuously ask for is what other people wanted. If I asked for what I wanted, I was selfish and ungrateful. If my job was to ask for what other people wanted. And so in that instance, it's like, well, I forgot to ask, or I forgot how to ask. And I find many adults are actually in this position in adulthood. They simply will not ask for what they want. They think it's inappropriate. They think they are being ungrateful. They think that it's too much. They think, well, I've already got a lot. If I ask for something else, or maybe I'll get in trouble if I ask. And so I'd like to address that and just ask us all, myself, anybody that's listening, it's like, have you asked lately? Have you asked plain, plump, and bold for what it is that you want? Perhaps to the world, but also your higher power. One of the most dynamic instances in any Charles Dickens book is where, it's one of the orphanages, and one of the children comes back to the stern server and says, more, please. And it's stunning, it's shocking. All the other orphans are stunned by the temerity and the boldness of the child going back and asking more, please. And for people who aren't familiar with asking or have been trained out of it or are afraid of it or think it's not appropriate, oftentimes when they do begin to ask, it's awkward, it's unusual. It does stir the pot, it does cause waves. Whether you're asking somebody, a mate, a family member, a friend for something, an employer for a raise, or whether you're straightforwardly asking God for what you want, well, I'm probably going to be smote now. Just by asking, I'm going to be hit by lightning. And maybe our asking is not skillful and we're asking for something other than what's best for us, but at least by asking, then we'll get that, and then we'll learn, and then we can constantly course correct, and we can aim at more and more skillful asking until we do arrive at the point where we are educated, skillful, precise, intelligent, effective asking people. And when we do that, we shall ask and receive, ask and receive, ask and receive, and a great momentum comes, if you ask me. So tomorrow we'll talk about the other great pathology of asking, and I ask that you come to that. So ask today, ask your higher power, stir up your desire, ask people for what you want. And if you make a mistake or err in doing it, then ask for the correction. I'll see you tomorrow.